Here are the dark holes I fell into this week. We got wheelchair hotties, chicks in the wheelchair, speeding around, looking too sexy to be disabled. We also got Sniffies. You guys know what Sniffies is? I've mentioned in our previous pod, I had to do a deep dive into what this app is. What's it used for? It's for dudes banging dudes is what it is, and it gets crazy, okay? Then we also got Moodang. I don't know about you at home, how much Moodang you've been drinking up. I'm crazy about Moodang. I love Moodang. If you don't know Moodang, I'm going to teach you about Moodang, all right? And the write-in, maybe the best write-in ever. This is the whole title of the write-in. This guy gave me a long explanation of what went down. What he wrote was, I caused a chlamydia outbreak and a potential mongoose infestation in Oahu. That's in Hawaii. All that today and more on Dark Holes. Okay, guys. Okay. So the opening thing here, we're it's kind of breaking into two parts. We got two separate things we're really gonna cover, and it's one part girl in a wheelchair who's very hot, and another part who gives the best blowjobs. What kind of person? So I came across this hot chick on the internet. Editor, play the I'm thirsty. We're starting with I'm thirsty. It's a rare occurrence. We've never started with an I'm thirsty before. So play the I'm thirsty. There it is. I found this hot chick online. Her name is Speedy Jasmine, and she's anything but speedy unless you strap a motor under her back, that's for sure, because this chick be in a wheelchair. She be fucking wheeling around, but she's got some big old fake honkos. She's super hot. She must have done something in a past life for God to take her legs. It's so crazy that she's so hot and that she has no use. For sure, I think she was kicking puppies. Maybe she was one of those chicks in those, producer, you remember those old Japanese videos where ladies would step on cats? Those were kind of floating around the internet in like the mid-2000s in the gore.com era.
Yeah, vaguely.
Yeah. Like, I don't think I ever watched one because that's I can deal with harm on people, but harm on animals, no thank you. But especially people hurting themselves. If it's someone like on a skateboard and they get hurt, it's like you did that to yourself. That is now funny. Someone hurting another person, not so much. Someone hurting an animal, absolutely not. But I had heard of these videos, and my suspect is in a past life, this girl was one of those girls. That's how she lost the use of her legs. But she is so smoking hot, she's wheeling around in this little wheelie. And she gives you some perks as to why you should get with this wheelchair chick, other than she's super hot. Like, honestly, just being definitely an 8 no legs, maybe a 9 no legs. With legs, she's a bride to a Saudi prince. She is on the cover of Maxim magazine. Well, now we're very progressive with things. I think she should be on multiple covers, dude. She has an OnlyFans. So if you want to go, I feel like part of me was like, for the something thirsty, I've never invested in the OnlyFans and given you guys like an OnlyFans review. That's not what I want this segment to be. I just kind of want to gush on a random like subculture hot chick. She only has like 25K followers, that's pretty niche. Pretty niche account that I fucking dug up for you guys. Went into the ground. Dug this one up, bro. But I was like, her to sub to her account, I remember it was only like $3 for the month. And I was like, do I do it? Do I do the $3? And then I go check it out and I give you guys a full investigative review on what's going on. I decided not to. But maybe next time I do. Because I don't want this to be like, hey, yeah, like here's me reviewing her OnlyFans account. What I can tell you is what she's pitching. She's pitching that if you want to go in her butt, if you like butt stuff, she can't even feel it. She's like, go to town back there, dig out the brown hole because there's no sensation, which makes me wonder if there's sensation on the giner, which is part of it for me. Because, like, I don't want to really smash a lady out if she's not even, like, having a good time. Like, I'm sure she wants to have sex. But if she's not feeling it, then it's like it's less pleasurable for me. I'm a giver, guys. I want to make sure you're having a good time. I want to make sure that you're nutting, you know? I like when a lady nuts. A lady gets her splooge on. A lady squirts. You got to put a towel down on the bed afterwards. All those things are great. I enjoy them, you know? But she goes on talking about how she has maybe the best blowjob skills. Because she's like, hey, man, that's my... What, you think I got the crazy puss? No, that's not where I'm putting my efforts. Like, when she wants to be a giver, she really only has the mouth option. So I was like, is that the best blowjob in the world? Is a chick whose legs don't work the best blowjob ever? And I would have to go with probably not. It's in the direction, though. And this is going to be a controversial statement, but I think the more disabled you are, to an extent, there's a threshold you can't pass, but the more disabled you are, the better your blowjob skills get, depending on the disability. You got, like, cerebral palsy, not so much. But if you're missing limbs or missing the use of limbs, then I think your blowjobs skills increase with the loss of each limb. Because there's this scene editor, I have this in the folder there. There's a scene from the movie Freaks. I don't know if you've ever seen Freaks. It's an old horror movie from the 1940s. It's about Okay, yeah, no, don't play it yet. Fucking we're keeping suspense. I'm building the scene here, dude. You can't fucking nut too quick. Keep it in your sack, man. But we're building this scene. We're building the era. It's the movie Freaks. So Freaks is a movie about a freak show. Like, I don't know if you guys remember these old-timey freak shows that used to happen in a circus. They'd be like, here's a bearded lady. Here's some Siamese twins. Here's a dude who's really strong. What a freak! They loved it. And the movie Freaks is about this beautiful woman sort of seducing the king of the freaks and trying to steal his fortune, and then the freaks come together. I actually don't want to ruin it for you. You might go, like, of old movies, I haven't seen a lot of old movies. I think I only saw this movie because I think my uncle, this is an uncle-ass gift. Holy shit, this is an uncle gift. He got me a DVD that had 4 different movies on it, and they were all old horror movies, and one of them was Freaks, and I watched it with my roommates, and it is very unsettling because they use real freaks. They go out and they get the freaks. They have many people that have strange deformities and strange things that have happened to them. They probably went to some sort of hospital and just started grabbing them by the neck and throw them in burlap sacks and then toss them in the back of the van, and they came out and they're like, you're in a movie now. You're in a fucking movie. I don't want to hear anything about it. I don't know how they got the people they got for this movie, but in one scene, this cigarette scene we're about to show you, don't worry, we're still building up. We're edging you to what I need to tell you. What they had. There's this one dude, he has no arms, no legs, and they have him in a burlap sack. Like, literally, I assume he's in the burlap sack because he crawls everywhere. So if you're just crawling and you have no protection on, similar to like a shoe, he's wearing a body shoe that he can crawl around and then he doesn't rub up against the ground. That's what I think. But in the scene, they show him light a cigarette with just using his mouth and his lips. Producer, can we see the cigarette scene from Freaks, please? Let's check this out.
Madam Tetralini giving us the once-over. I guess she knows she's got a good act, one of the best in the business. It isn't only our act that gets them. We've got personality. We know how to sell the stuff. Same way in the last town.
Look at the
Never
lip
heard such
dexterity.
applause in your life.
Lighting
Let
the
me tell you
match.
something that everybody
Using
around
the
here
chin.
don't know. We're only killing time with this circus. We've got bigger time to follow, and we can do it, too. Well, catch a rack tomorrow night. We got something new.
Now you can do anything with eyebrow?
That was it. Thank you, producer. Pretty wild scene in a movie. It's like they clearly knew that this guy could light a cigarette with his mouth, and they were like, we need to get this is good. They knew back then. I think he's in one other scene where he has a knife in his mouth. Fuck, I literally forgot that was in the movie until right now, where it's like a dude with no arms and no legs with a knife in his mouth, very threatening. But they knew he could do this, and they're like, we got to get that on camera. That's a fucking wild thing to watch. It is wild the way you see him use his lip dexterity. So all of these pieces coming together, wheelchair girl, Speedy Jasmine, dude in the movie Freaks lighting the cigarette, who gives the best blowjob? I'm going to say a chick who has no arms and no legs. That's who's giving you the best blowjob of all time, dude, because the level of mouth dexterity that needs to be developed in order to live your life, open drawers, dial the phone, surf the internet, light a cigarette, all those skills are building. And if you have your other limbs, even if you dedicated your life, you're like, I'm going to dedicate my life to having some insane level of mouth dexterity for whatever reason, his or hers would still be better because the force to do it. You have to do it even when it's inconvenient and you can't rely on your other limbs. Therefore, you're going to build a level of skill that goes beyond just doing it for whatever internal reasoning you have to have incredible mouth dexterity. So you apply that to the schlong, that's going to blow your mind. They're going to be able to do like waves on their lips. They're going to roll their tongues in shapes you didn't know. They're going to be able to like pull your foreskin back up over your dick. If you don't have foreskin, they'll stretch it and regrow it with just the use of their mouth. That's what I'm talking about, dude. That is probably the best. Now, there is an element of hands that are involved in a blowjob, and hands are important for a blowjob. So it would really only be the no-handy blowy that they're the best at. Like if it was a competition across the board, everyone who's competing is doing strictly no handy BGs, then probably the person with no arms and no legs is going to be the top dog at this. I would say. I can't confirm. And another element to this is you can't have legs because you go, oh, well, you'll just have, well, if you just have no arms, you would have equal, but you're not going to be using your mouth in the same way because if you have feet, then you turn into a foot person and you get the dexterity goes to the feet because I see the feet people in some things. They're like, I'm driving my car with my feet only. I'm cooking with my feet only. I'm writing letters. I'm paying bills with my feet only. I'm posting on Instagram with my feet only. That's where the dexterity will go, and you need the dexterity to go to the mouth. That's where the energy and the attention needs to be focused into if you want to get to this top-tier, no-handy beach level. But yeah, so if you want to see a hot chick in a wheelchair, I guess, go check out Speedy Jasmine. I don't know if she can feel the vagina stuff and the parking. Of course, that is the first bit. I didn't want to go right to because that's the obvious joke. It's like, hey, you date a handicapped chick, you get good parking. But that is an element, dude. Do you go to a lot of amusement parks? Do you go to a lot of malls? Do you go to a lot of places where parking is inconvenient? Are you in New York City? Parking is inconvenient sometimes. And so you can park anywhere with your little sign and it's legit and you got your wheelchair girlfriend that you bring around and you push her around. Also, that's going to be good for you. You're going to build a lot of upper body strength, picking up your lady quite a bit, picking her up all the time. And like you have to pick her up, take her up the stairs. That's something that I don't know. I'm not the right guy for this chick because I live in a walk-up. I'm in a New York City walk-up, so it's quite a few flights to get up to my place, and that means I gotta like pick her up, carry her up, and I gotta like that's an intimate moment when you're carrying her. I gotta still be charming and riz her up as I'm like running out of breath and carrying her up to my place. Also, how does the pooping work? I'm wondering. Do they have the sensation to poop? Are they diapered? I don't know. That's getting too far into it for me. But guys, welcome to Dark Holes, the Dark Holes podcast, where, of course, we go into dark holes. I don't know if you guys noticed. I started the podcast differently today. Said these are the dark holes I fell into. I'm trying to get clear the identity of this podcast. I want everyone to understand. It's about I told you I broke it into 3 sections. We have dark holes of culture, dark holes of people, strange internet personalities, and you at home who write in who have the dark holes. So I'm like, this is every week I'm falling into different dark holes in these subject matters, and I share them with you. So we're just getting the identity of the pod cleared out, dude. So I would say like our personality today was Speedy Jasmine, or it could even be Moodang. Moodang, dude. He's a personality. Did I just misgender Moodang? God damn. They're gonna fucking come cut my head off. I don't know how many of those I get before the shadow government comes and cuts me into little pieces. Everyone loves Moodang, including the Illuminati strike force, and they will fucking kill me for misgendering Moodang. God damn. If you don't know who Moodang is, it's coming later in the pod. So don't get antsy. You get a full explanation of Moodang. We're doing Sniffies is kind of the cultural thing. Sniffies is for sure a cultural revolution. Yeah, whoever you want to be the person that they are. Now let's go into our next section. What's going on with me? What's going on with me? First off, guys, of course, every week, if you want an extra episode of Dark Holes, you can check out the Patreon. It keeps just edging up every week. Bop, bop, bop. Few more people. Bop, 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 bop. I'm fucking stoked, dude. Every time I see a new Patreon stuff, I'm like, let's fucking go. $5 a month. You got one extra app, and you get fucking the chance to write in, get access to the Discord. You get fucking, what else? Ad-free apps. Dude, that's pretty sick. Pretty fucking sick. I say it's a good deal for $5. And you support me. And if we hit our goal, when we hit our goal of 232, that is when the pod becomes self-sufficient, I will get the words Dark Holes tattooed on the inside of my lip. So you can add to me getting my first tattoo ever, dude. Tour dates. We're going to be in Tampa, Florida, October 4th. Why is the first one? The second? Okay. No, that's weird. We're going to be in Pittsburgh, October 3rd. Tampa, Florida, October 4th. Cincinnati, October 5th. Uncasville, Connecticut, October 10th to 12th. Lexington, Kentucky, May 6th to 8th. Those, the Lexington tickets aren't available yet. But also, we're going to be in, what's it called? What the fuck is that place? Toronto. Toronto has been locked in. You guys have been dying for the Toronto show. We got 4 shows coming up in Toronto. The tickets aren't available for that yet, but I do have the dates. I believe it's December 13th and 14th. So keep on holding on for those. Those are going to be available to purchase soon. So that's all the promo for shows. What's going on with me? My shoes stink. My shoes stink so bad. I don't know what the fuck I did. I was in my house the other day, and I kept walking past a certain part of my house. I was like, what fucking stinks? It smells like something's rotting. What the fuck? And I picked up my shoes, and it was my shoes. And they're not that old. So I got to find some way to cleanse these shoes. I was looking up different stuff. I was like, maybe I just put them right through the washing machine. That could be an answer. I saw something where you can kind of wash them in baking soda in like your tub. You can soak them. But then I think if you wash them in the washing machine, they kind of lose their integrity. So like if they're like anti-shock, speed booster, fuckables, or whatever type of shoe you're wearing, that all those features are gone. So I kind of want to keep some of my shoe features. So I think they're going to get soaked in the tub with baking soda, then hung out to dry. That's going to be the answer for the shoes, dude. But they stink right now. Still obsessed with Deadlock. Holy shit. This game has a stranglehold on my dick and balls, guys. I got to play something different soon just to kind of keep my game. I like to be playing a bunch of different stuff. I like to be educated in what's going on in the game sphere. I heard Astrobot is very good. I heard the Space Marines game is very good. So I kind of want to jump into those. But Deadlock is holding me by the nutsack. Every time I play a game of Deadlock, I'm getting better. I'm learning new things. I'm playing new tactics. Me and Cameron Phoenix, who I stream with, if you want to watch our streams on Twitch, we get on and we tool around. I got new builds and we're trying new things. I'm fucking loving it. God, it fucking has me going. Phoenix was amazing. I love Arizona. I fucking love Arizona for 2 reasons. One, Arizona is a beautiful state. You go to Arizona, you look out. I've never been there in the summer, so I don't know what you guys do in the summertime. But you see this beautiful mountain range. You see this beautiful desert and stuff. And Arizona breeds a very specific type of woman. There's a very, these chicks exist in other places, but they are plentiful in Arizona. Where you have this, like, she looks almost sticky. You have like a sticky girl that is covered in tattoos and she's like a bartender. That's all you see them everywhere in Arizona. And I love it. I love a fucking just sticky, bartendy kind of, it looks like she works at some dive bar. I drink it up. I might be in LA soon. So if you're in LA, there's a couple of things I'm going to be booking. Probably mid-October, I'm trying to shoot for LA. I'm not going to do like a big show over there, but I'll be doing some pods. I'm going to be dropping in some places. So if you're in LA, keep your eyes open for some stuff on my Instagram story and things. I'll be popping around over there. That's kind of what's going on with me currently. All right. Damn, we're already 20 minutes in. Fuck, dude. All right. We might only have time for one write-in today, but the one write-in is so fucking good. But let's get to it. Let's get to Sniffies. Sniffies. Okay, this is something you need to know. I talked about Sniffies briefly on another podcast. And what Sniffies is basically it's like Pokemon Go meets Grinder. So you can open your phone, and you know how in Pokemon Go to be like, here's a Pokemon Go station, and here's this Pokemon if you walk over here. It's that, but it's just men's assholes. And so it's literally dudes posting where you can go and inseminate them all over a city. And a comic showed me this. It was a gay comic who brought it. He was like, hey, you know Sniffies, right? And I was like, no, what the fuck is Sniffies? And he was like, oh, it's like Pokemon Go meets Grindr. And he literally showed me stuff on his phone where it would be like a tile, and you would click on it, and then it would show like a dude's butthole. You can post nudes on Sniffies, and it would say like pump and dump at this location, come and blow me out. This is something that the gays are doing way beyond the heteros. The homos are destroying the heteros when it comes to streamlining fucking. When it comes to penetration, they have removed all the frills. It is completely business-like in how it operates. It's a well-oiled machine when it comes to fucking. If I want everyone who's listening right now to envision in their mind, it doesn't even need to be a friend, but the dude you know, like a straight dude who you know gets the most pussy ever. This dude has crushed pussy like crazy. He always has new chicks. He's like, yeah, I banged like 5 chicks this weekend. I got 15 girls in rotation. And the list just goes on and on and on in his ability to pull and smash puss. A C-list gay guy is putting up twice his numbers every fucking day, dude. A C-list gay dude is like, what, you banged 5 chicks this weekend? I went to the dark room in the basement of some gay bar, and 25 different dudes all splooged inside of me. I couldn't even see their faces. The homos are dominating that space. I shouldn't call them homos. That's rude. I just hetero homo. That's like the two sides of it. The gays are dominating that space, and they have made it more efficient than ever. They almost operate in like a hive mind system where they're like, how do we make it so that we can fuck more? I don't know about the lesbians. I don't know if the lesbians are crushing puss like that crazy, but the gay men, for sure, they're like all on the same wavelength of how do we pass jizz around faster than ever before. Light speed, dude. If all of the human race had the ingenuity to anything else, say like to space travel that the gays have to streamlining fuckability, Mars would be a type 1 civilization, the entire planet by now. That's how good they are at this. It's incredible. It is incredible, dude. Like this is, so I learned what cruising is from investigating this app. So cruising is like when you would go to a place and you would like hang out at like a cruising spot in quotations where you go to meet other random gay dudes to fuck, which is that concept is crazy. You're going to just a place, a fucking park, and then waiting for someone you hope to be a gay guy to be like, hey, can I suck your dick real quick? And there's other people there. You could mistake a random family man who's enjoying a Sunday with his wife. They're out for a stroll. They're having a picnic. You see a guy with a picnic mat. You go, well, he must be gay. Who else is out here? Who's having a picnic other than gay dudes? And then you go up and go, would you like a blowjob? And he's like, whoa. I'm trying to have a fucking wonderful picnic with my wife. I know how it looks, but no, I would not. You had to take that risk. That's what Sniffies has streamlined that whole process. Take out any of the bullshit. Go from hole to hole faster than ever before. That should be their tagline. Sniffies, if one of your employees, if they hear this, go hole to hole faster than ever before. You got to pay me. You got to pay me. Sponsor the pod. Pod sponsored by Sniffies. I don't know if fucking how many gay people listen to this. I don't think it's a lot. But it could be some. But who cares? But they've streamlined the process. Yeah, because the reason it's called Sniffies is because, here's some background info on Sniffies. For one, this app has only been around since 2018. Pretty fresh product in terms, I think, of the app space to get popular. Probably is raking in money. I would think it is slurping in cash, because this is what this comic showed me, was that if you want to use Sniffies, you can pay like a it can only show you like a certain radius around you of who is fuckable. But if you pay like the premium price, then you can have like you can see everywhere. You can see the global spectrum of which dudes are trying to get filled in which places. And that honestly, like the gay fearing Christians, that's probably their worst nightmare. If I showed them almost like at Jarvis in Iron Man, if I was like, Jarvis, show me all the Sniffies in the whole world, and it just like, it's like the you see the globe and all these little pins on it, and it's just dicks and balls and assholes all over the place. You showed that to like some homophobic Christian, they'd be like, Jesus Christ, we're losing the war. We're losing the war. The war is lost, dude. You guys crashed the DNC or the RNC. That was such a funny story. I don't know if that's true. I didn't look into that. But apparently at the Republican National Convention, Grindr crashed. That's how many people are in the closet and Republican. Just come out, dude. Be gay and Republican. You know that we can't do that yet? Come on. Anyways, slurping water. No Celsius today. I drank a Celsius pre-stream. And then I didn't want to double up. Today because I'm not trying to cut back on the Celsius, but my body was feeling a little off, and I was like, yeah, if I double down on Celsius, then I can't sleep, and blah, 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 blah. I just wanted to make sure that I was going to have a good night's sleep tonight. But yeah, Sniffies was based off this other app where it was for like panty trading and underwear trading. I don't know if that was dude only. Maybe not. And that's why it was called Sniffies, because you're kind of like sniffing the thing and you're sniffing around. So these guys are like truffle pigs for dick and balls, dude. It is wild to me how much better they are. Like they have like Area 51 level tech. Like Sniffies was being worked on and tooled and shaped up in the shadows, and now is disseminated. That's a word, right? Producer, disseminated? Yeah, sick. To the public. And it's advanced. Us heteros, we got nothing on this level. There's no app I could get that I click on a thing and there's some chicks that are like, hey, come bang me. Well, because that's like basically, if you made that app and then chicks were on there doing that, it would just be like, I don't know, serial killer plus. Like, you're just like, I can go murder any one of these people at any time? That's crazy. Yeah, there's just, because of that, it kind of ruins the whole thing. I guess for gay dudes, the reason why, we're on your old dude, so I understand that, like, gay or straight, you got the same mindset of, like, I'm horny and I just kind of need to deal with this horniness. I just need to get it out of me so I can go on with my day. But on top of that, there's the element of you don't have to fear the person you're banging. Like, even if they're a little bit stronger than you, man on man, if you get into a gay encounter and then this guy goes, actually, I'm a killer. You go, all right, well, we're in a fair fight, at least. At least we're in a fair scrap right now, and it's a 50-50 chance of who gets out of this one. So that makes it the person's less likely to kill, more likely to have fun. Okay, Moodang. Moodang. Producer, you familiar with Moodang?
No.
You don't know Moodang? Dude, what the fuck have you been up to, dude? Dude, look up Moodang right now. There's no fucking way you can't not know who Moodang is. Dude, Moodang fucking rules. Yeah, you know Moodang.
Of course.
You know Moodang.
Woo.
Dude, Moodang fucking rules. Oh, quick, I think I forgot to give you guys a gym update. I did 4 days last week in the gym. I only did cardio once, though, so that's not good. I fucking always skip the cardio, but I got in there 4 days. And so we're fucking getting that consistency up. We're getting up. I've been at the gym more in September than like it's been my most consistent month since I moved to New York, so in the last 2 years. So we're fucking, and the body's looking a little bit better. I got to eat less cheese, though. I asked for cheese at this show in Tempe. I was like, hey, can you guys give me some cheese as a snack? And they brought me a bunch of cheese slices. And then the next day, they were like, hey, we know you like cheese. So they had this whole spread of, like, slices and Baby Bells. And I think I ate, like, 25 cheese slices just in a row, probably in under, like, 5 minutes. I was talking to a comic, and I just, like, kept going cheese slice, cheese slice, cheese slice. I gotta eat less cheese, man. It doesn't bung me up. It's just unnecessary. It's a lot of calories in cheese. But I love it. I love cheese, bro. That's kind of been my vice. I'm drinking less. I'm trying to watch less porn. I'm eating better. I'm sleeping better. Phoning less. We're still playing the video games quite a bit, but I'm taking out a lot of these dopamine fueling. Dopaminergic is maybe the word. Okay, producer, can you Google that for me? Dopaminergic? It's something like that. It's something in that realm. It's things that stimulate your dopamine. I'm getting rid of a lot of those, but cheese is the guy that's filling the void. I'm filling the void with cheese.
Yeah, you're right. Dopaminergic means relating to dopamine, a neurotransmitter that plays a role in many brain functions.
Dopaminergic. Heard that on a fucking podcast, guys. So my dopaminergic fix right now. I'm looking at views less. I'm caring less about what the algo gives me and just putting content out there. I have faith that the content is good and it's watchable. And if it doesn't get a lot of views, I don't give a shit, man. I know it's fucking good. So I'm just like, I'm giving a good product to the people, and the people who enjoy it, and that's it. I don't need to fucking bend over backwards to appeal to the algorithm. I need to appeal to what I believe is good content. So cheese is filling that void. That's the cheese. I'm fucking putting a lot of Gouda in the holes, man. We're plugging them up with that shit. But Moodang, give me some fucking dopamine. God, Moodang. Any listener who doesn't know who Moo motherfucking Dang is Moodang is a fresh baby hippo in Thailand in the zoo. And I gotta admit, I was a late adopter to Moodang because I saw pictures of this baby hippo and I was like, yeah, baby anything is cute. Baby frog is cute, dude. Baby alligators. You ever heard of baby alligator and they make that laser noise? That pew, pew, pew. They literally sound like laser guns. Baby anything is fucking... Baby spider is probably cute. Baby cockroach is probably cute. Never seen it. Actually, when you see the spider mom and she has all the babies on her back, that's one of the most horrific things you could ever come across in your whole life. I'm thinking about it right now. My skin is... Gross. But for the most part, mammals. Baby mammals, reptiles... birds. No, baby birds, gross. Actually, once they get fluffy, baby duck, come on, you little fucker. Don't fucking tell me a chick isn't cute. I was thinking of when they're in nest and they're doing like the and their mouths are open and they're screaming. Those are fucking horrific looking creatures. But for the most part, even when human comes out fresh, gross. But then once they get to a cute stage, it's like a few months in or whatever. That's when they're cute. So I was like, yeah, cute baby hippo, of course. Cute baby hippo. I've known baby hippos are cute. But as I started to investigate more, I was like, oh no, this specific baby hippo is more than just a cute little guy. He's got a very relatable personality. Moodang bodies. Did I say he again?
Keep misgendering.
Yo, I misgendered Moodang again. Oh, fuck. This is not good, guys. This isn't good, bro. They're going to fucking come get me. They're going to put me, holy shit, dude. They're going to put me in one of those things. Those like fucking, where you publicly shame someone and you put like their head and their wrists in like the wooden thing. And then people just come by and they like throw their leftovers at your face. They go, fuck, this guy misgendered Moodang. This guy misgendered, fucking beat the shit. People come and they like twist my nips and kick me in the balls. And they're like, this is the guy who misgendered Moodang. And they just beat the fuck out of me, dude. And it's all completely acceptable. I misgendered Moodang, dude. Holy shit. Moodang, beautiful little baby hippo, has a very specific personality. It's very chaotic. It's very dopamine seeking. It's very very unsettled, dude. Moodang, you're like, oh, Moodang, you're a hippo. You probably like water and want to go for a little bath. Absolutely not. Moodang's kicking and screaming all over the place, chopping at you. Go, oh, Moodang, then you don't like to be touched. Wrong again. I like to be cuddled and rubbed and stuff sometimes, but only when I fucking say so, because I'm Moodang, okay? I'm on my own time. There's been reporting on Moodang. There was the monkey. We won't get too deep into the monkey. The monkey, he didn't know what he was doing. Just like me misgendering Moodang, this monkey didn't know what line he was crossing. Although he's probably dead by now. And for those of you who don't know, there's a video of a monkey sort of swiping at Moodang. Swipes at her. Swipes at her. And then people are like, we need to get a SWAT team out, hunt this monkey down. And I would assume this monkey's already dead. There's no way you're going to take a swipe at Moodang and come out safe. But I'm like, we'll leave the monkey alone. We already know the public's opinion on the monkey, and I love monkeys, dude. I love them. But this guy, your time has come. Can't do that. Can't do the old moo. But the snot bubbles. So on 2 separate occasions now, Moodang has been sleeping, and literally a cartoonish snot bubble has gloobed out of her nose and popped. Get the fuck out. That's textbook cuteness. That's scripted cuteness. I wouldn't, dude, if you told me that there was a zookeeper that had like a little bucket of a hippo snot and they were glazing it over the hole, the nostril, and then they were like, hey, now run the camera, I would believe you. It's too fucking perfect that Moodang has a snot bubble on 2 occasions that gloob out. Get the fuck out of here, dude. I loved it, man. That's like, honestly, the people are reporting on this like it's news. It should be top-ranking news. They should be able to, that same system they use for like an Amber Alert, or when they give you like an earthquake warning and it's like wah, wah on your phone, it should immediately interrupt whatever you're doing on your phone. Every screen in Times Square, they go, new Moodang snot bubble video just comes up on your screen. Mandatory watching. Government issued mandatory North Korean style watching. If we find out, if they go like, hey, how many Moodang snot bubble videos are there? And you answer wrong, you go into the wooden thing. You're locked up. And then people are throwing their leftovers at you, dude. That's what happens to you. Public humiliation. And it's like, torture is too intense of a word, but shaming. Physical shaming is what we'll call it when we throw our old tacos at you. Here's this fucking shrimp tacos undercooked and it gave me diarrhea. And we whip it at your face, dude. You must participate in the viewing of Moodang and the snot bubbles. Unnegotiable. Non-negotiable. Moodang must. Okay, dude. God. But yeah, that's an important part. That's an important part of my day has just been seeing, when I think the best Moodang video I saw was meme. It was that scene from The Simpsons. This takes you back to how good The Simpsons were. The Simpsons wasn't just like a goofy show. There's some real sentimental moments in there. And I can't remember what this episode was, but I remember the episode is all about like Homer's relationship with Lisa and how much he loves his kids, and it's him at work, and I think it's just he kind of hates his job, and it's like, how do you go to work every day and do this shitty job? And he has like a collage of pictures of Lisa, and it's all these like cute baby photos and her growing up, and it says, I do it for her. And someone had replaced all the pictures of Lisa with pictures of Moodang that says, I do it for her. And I'm like, yeah, dude. Do it for Moodang. If you can't get up in the morning, you're feeling too down, you're feeling too sad, you're feeling like you just don't have the juice today, just think about Moodang. Look at 4, 5, 6, 7 Moodang pics. I'll get you up. I'll take you out of the hole, dude. Just remember, Moodang's out there for you. Don't misgender her. Don't do it. All right, right in time. So this person wrote in, and this is one of the most diabolical write-ins. This person will remain anonymous, but it is absolutely diabolical, this write-in. Just the headline is pretty fucking crazy. I followed up, as I've told you, I've been following up with a lot of these people to make sure that these write-ins are correct and true, because this one, and he sent me, we're gonna skim over some of this, because this is literally like 5 Instagram full messages of a breakdown of what happened. So I am going to give you a quick summary. Now, we'll get into it a bit, but let's do the headline first. I caused both a chlamydia outbreak and a potential mongoose infestation in Oahu. That's already, you're like, what the fuck is going on? How? Where do you encounter a mongoose? I don't even know where the fuck a mongoose is, dude. I've never seen one in the flesh. I know they fight cobras. Them mongoose and cobra have a very heated history, dude. Mongoose and cobra is like North and South Korea. They're both, I don't know who's the mongoose and who's the cobra, but they're both one of those guys. I would say South Korea is probably the mongoose. North Korea is probably the cobra. Would you agree, producer?
Yeah.
That's accurate. Like a mongoose is like cuter. It seems nicer. They got the K-pop going on, but still, like they're doing some shit over there. They're trying to take over the phone game. They're not just fucking around. They're a serious guy. The cobra, much more venomous, seems much more dangerous. But I don't know. It's the danger, the venom, very similar to nuclear arms. They're a nuclear nation, those guys. Okay, so let's get into this write-in from Anonymous. So the year is 2004. I was a young private first class in the Army stationed in Schofield Barracks. Stationed at the Schofield Barracks. The mongoose came first. Okay, so that's where we're starting. Mongoose, I guess that is the plural of that. I've never said that before. We were set on training. We were set on a training field mission to the Big Island, to the Pohakuloa training area. My life sucked. I was stuck on night shifts, radio guard. Every night I had to try and sleep during the Hoya's Hawaiian day in a tent directly under the sun. Oh, that fucking sucks. Trying to sleep in the sun in Hawaii every day and you have to work every night. Blech. No AC, baby. It was just miserable. Anyways, okay, this is where I'm going to start to cut this down a little bit for you guys so we can kind of get to the juice. Because I've read all through all this already. So what happens is, actually, I can just fucking read it. What am I talking about? I feel like I'm taking it away from you guys now. It was just miserable. Anyways, some mongooses, he says, question mark. Okay, so he doesn't even know if it's mongooses. Producer, can you research that for me real quickly while I'm doing this? Crawled into the back of one of our LMTs, these are cargo trucks, and started hiding out during the day and tearing apart more boxes of MREs at night. So I think that's their rations. Well, I had just done half a day of setting up razor wire, a whole night of radio duty, and was headed back to my tent, and my sergeant, first class, stopped me and told me I had to unload and clean the trucks. They smelt like shit. And he goes, I'm tired, man. I got about halfway through unloading that shit and just said, fuck it. I could hear the mongooses, we're still unsure, hiding deeper in the truck that was full of shit, but I've been up for like 26 hours. Okay, And it was the last day of exercise before the trucks got loaded back into the boats and sailed to Oahu. I just packed that shit back up and went to my tent. Weeks later, back in Oahu, the mongooses got out and totally unrelated to what I did and totally unrelated to what he did. Just so you guys know, it has nothing to do with what he did. Because they were in every single truck. It wasn't just his truck he was working with. Every truck over there was infested with mongooses.
So the correct pronunciation is mongooses.
Yeah.
And a group of mongooses is called a troop.
A troop! Oh, who knew that they got troop status? Which is kind of funny because they're doing military shit. That's crazy, dude. A troop, they knew what they were up to. They were doing tactical shit. They were getting up into the back of the vans. They were eating the rations. They were infesting. They're shitting. They almost used like a Trojan horse style military tactic to get inside the vans and then get transported into the new area. These little fuckers, dude. God damn. Maybe they are North Korea. Okay. We went back. Weeks later, they got out. Okay, wait. Where were we? They had infested every truck in our motor pool and had escaped to the forest behind us. Like, in a big way, they were killing birds and all kinds of shit. Turns out they are super invasive, and the government of Hawaii has a whole invasive species council to combat them. That's the end of the mongoose problem. So this dude, it wasn't just him. The mongoose were in all these fucking things, but these mongoose got out and started fucking wreaking havoc on the area. It makes sense. They're a cobra fighting creature. If they're in an environment where they say fuck you to a venomous snake, you can't put them in anything. A bird? They're gonna fuck the shit out of your birds, dude. And they're weaselly, guy, right? They're in the weasel family, probably. They're weasel adjacent. They're ferret adjacent. That's what they're doing. They're doing that kind of stuff. So they can slither into holes, man. You know how you see ferrets go in those tubes with all the balls? These guys are getting in there in every little nook and cranny, up and down. That's what they like to do. Whoa. Okay. 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 Now. Okay. We unloaded all this shit. It wasn't my fault. Wait, where were we? Now the chlamydia. Okay. Now we're on the chlamydia story. It wasn't my fault. Some ratty sergeant needed a ride home to her house off post, which should have been a oh shit, what did I just do? What did I just do? Did I fucking... Okay, no, I think we're good. It wasn't my fault. I thought I moved one of the pictures around in a weird way where I have all this information. Some ratty sergeant needed a ride home back to her house off post, which should have been a warning sign. Because only married soldiers live off post. And I was a young, dumb private too afraid to say no. She was impressed with my car and invited me in. I ended up spending the night and the next few nights. She was a squirter. That shit was crazy. I had nowhere else to be that weekend. Anyways, I go back about my business, end up sleeping around with another female in the unit before getting back with my ex. The sergeant moves to a different base across the country. Homegirl I slept with in the unit breaks things off, and I went on her way. A few weeks later, I get a call from that ratty sergeant that holy shit, I'm all over the place. A few weeks later, I get a call from that ratty sergeant that moved. She said that she has the clap. I show no symptoms, so I show no symptoms. So I was all, be gone, dirty hoe. Okay, so he's blaming her. He's being like, yo, you gotta get out of here. I didn't even catch it. But I go get tested. Turns out I just didn't show symptoms. One of the army nurses gives him a shot, blah, blah, blah. We're going through it. And then he has to contact all the people that he was in sexual contact with, and he says the list was ungentlemanly long. Anyways, the women I slept with then also slept with other soldiers who in turn were sleeping around. They all got tested, and the nurses did the tracing, and it came back to there were 80 cases that were linked directly to him. He could have been just sharing the clap, blah, blah, blah. Okay, yeah, so then this is how it kind of wraps up. So 80 cases were traced back to this one dude from him sleeping with this lady and then sleeping around and then having this like ricochet effect of all of the soldiers fucking each other. But then he gets back with his ex-girlfriend who now had chlamydia because he was hooking up with her at the same time, if you remember. She passes chlamydia back to him. Then he gets tested again and he has symptoms this time. And so he catches chlamydia again. And then it's the same nurse who tested him. He tests positive for chlamydia on 2 different occasions with her. And they end up calling this guy Patient Zero. Yeah, dude. Pretty fucking wild, right? Pretty fucking wild for you to be able to go through all that kind of stuff, dude. That is, that's what happens when you are in sort of like a small environment where the fuckability is loose. Like, or not the fuckability, the rules around fucking are loose and your options are small. Because when you're on base and you're in the military thing, everyone's kind of associating with the same people. It would be like if you're doing like some sort of research project in Antarctica, and it's like a small group of people doing this like scientific experiment. Like some of you are gonna start fucking like those 2 people that are stuck in space. There's 2 you produce. You know what I'm talking about. There's a man and a woman stuck in space right now, and if they're not fucking, they better be fucking. Come on, man. That's exactly, we're gonna hang around, we're gonna float around, and we're just gonna chop it up for like a year? Producer, can you check for me how long those 2 are gonna be stuck in space? Because I want to know. I want to know because there's a certain amount of time where you have zero exposure to any other person physically, where it doesn't matter. A friend of mine called this the cantaloupe theory, where like if a cantaloupe's on your plate, you go, oh yeah, I love cantaloupe's good, cantaloupe's great. Cantaloupe's obviously an acquired taste. Not everyone likes it, but it's fruit, so it's pretty sweet. It's pretty good. It's whatever. But then if cantaloupe is like next to like strawberries and bananas and blueberries, you go, fuck this cantaloupe. I don't like fucking cantaloupe. So she worked as a stewardess, and she would call the pilots. She's like, a lot of them are cantaloupes. We're like in this controlled environment where like some of the only dudes are pilots. These pilots seem so hot. But then once I get out to the real world where I'm exposed to everyone else, the cantaloupe isn't as appealing. So you only have one cantaloupe in front of you floating around in space. You're going to eat that cantaloupe, I would hope.
They're aiming for March 2025 at the earliest.
To bring them back. That's crazy. So they're going to be in space for like, I don't know, like 6 months to a year? I don't know exactly when they got stuck up there. But they're going to be up there for a long time. At least smooch. At least some hand stuff. Like, get down to something. Also, can you jizz in space? If you're a squirter in space and you squirt on the space station, that's got to fuck it up a little bit. It's probably hard to... Actually, I heard what happens on the space station is like all the poop and pee, it goes into wherever you poop and pee. I don't know what they go into, but there's a recycling system. Oh, sweat and everything. All the moisture that comes off of anyone's body, it goes into a recycling system, and that water is recycled, and that's what you drink on the space station. Because there's like, how the fuck else are they going to get water up there? So if you squirt in space, it gets recycled. At least if you squirt on the space station, your squirt will be recycled back into the rest of the water supply, and that is what you will be drinking, which I think is fine. Give me the recycled squirt, please. Give me whatever this space station recycling system is. I'll live off of purely recycled squirt. That's good. If it's good enough for an astronaut, it's good enough for me, I would think. I'm drinking squirt unrecycled right now. I'm drinking squirt right from the tap, dude. Warm. I like it warm. That's when it's its best. That's a move that I'll usually do. If a lady squirts on my hand, I always do that. I always lick the fingers after. I think it shows like it's like a chef. You're like sticking your finger in like the sauce. You go, oh yeah, it's fucking perfect, isn't it? I nailed it this time. All right, let's get into another write-in. Okay, this is a depressing statement. The problem with liking thick chicks is my dick isn't long enough for every position. That's just the reality, man. I want to be very honest about my dick right now. Not small, but not crazy. I'll give you guys exact. I don't know girth. I've never wrapped around girth, but he's not super girthy. I think he's a regular, let's say average girth. Length, it's 7 inches on my tippy toes. On my tippy toes, like if I like fucking fully like kind of push it in a little bit and I like stretch, where I imagine if I do a full power thrust and the momentum of my hips shoves a little extra bit of dick into her, like it pulls out of my body a little bit, almost like a goblin shark, its teeth reaching out, its jaws extend from its body and grab its prey. And when I do a very powerful fully, like I'm in full push-up position, I arch into that triangle shape and my hips come slamming down. I get a goblin shark extra little bit that goes into the pussy. That's what I imagine. Then I'm at 7. Really on the fucking tippy toes, I get to 7, dude. But I've hooked up with thick chicks. So some of you are listening and being like, I would love to have a tippy toe 7. I would love to have a tippy toe 7. And I've hooked up with some thick chicks. I'm hitting it from the back, and I'm like, I'm giving you about, I don't know, an inch of cock right now. If you got 6 inches, let's say 5.5 inches of ass that is pushing back on me, and I'm really like, what do? I spread the cheeks, and do I put like the top of my belly in between your fucking butt cheeks so I can get the rest of my dick in there? What do I do? Some of them have so much ass, dude. And it's just, they gotta know what's up. They gotta know how much ass they're floating around back there, because the minority of dudes are rocking the 8, 9, 10, 11, 12-inch cocks that are required to give them an average amount of dick in certain positions. So what you need to do is you just get creative with your positions. Stuff like the cuddle, which is, I think, my favorite. I don't know if it's my favorite, but it's up there. There's just so much you can do with the cuddle. For one, you can be lazy, which is great. It's great when you can be lazy during sex and still make it look like you're doing a lot. You can reach down. You can do hand stuff and penetration stuff at the same time. You can do her face is close to yours. You can make out and like lick the neck or whatever. There's a lot of stuff you can do where you can grab a titty. You almost have her in front of you like a cello, and you can just be like you can just play it however you want, however you play a cello, dude. But it's a very cello-esque position. Next time you see a guy playing a cello, you're like, he probably fucking rips in the cuddle position big time, dude. That's where he does his best work. But that's just something that comes with the territory of banging thick chicks, is you have to know that stuff like doggy is kind of a thing of the past, dude. But you just have to beat it up in missionary. But that's kind of, you want the thickness, you kind of want, but here's how you can enjoy the thickness the most, I think, while still giving her the most dick, is with her on top, I would say. Because then you kind of got like the thickness pouring down on top of you. She like lays on you. You really get to feel sort of that sleeping bag encasement of a human being. Encasement? Probably not a word. Of just human seeping around you, encasing you in a cocoon-like state of this big chick. You can reach around, you can grab the ass, the titties are doing that sort of hanging light bulb swing, and you can snag one of them out of the air, give them a suck, and you can fucking push them together and get your face in there, and you can hit them one after the other like a couple of udders. But yeah, that's where I think you can get the most joy and most fun out of the thick chick, is having her on top, which seems counterintuitive. You think she's so big, you're like, do I want to get this chick on top of me? Depending on how big she is. But I think that's what you want. That's why I like ladies sometimes talk about having like a guy on top of them, but how that is. I'm like, that must feel similar to when like a really big girl's like, it feels great. It's like a weighted blanket, but there's a warm vagina on your cock at the same time. They should sell that. Someone needs to sell that. Like, I think Fleshlight needs to sell like a weighted blanket, a Fleshlight combo, like a BBW kit. That's like, it's a big, you have this huge weighted blanket that like you can throw over top of you, and then there's just a Fleshlight at the bottom, and you can just, the weighted blanket's squishy, and you can just hold on to it, and then you can just kind of rock back and forth and fuck this Fleshlight as this weighted blanket really soothes you. You're gonna dude, that is basically, you won't have insomnia. We'll kill insomnia. If there's anyone in the world who has insomnia, you send them one of these. You send them the BBW experience, and then we throw in the VR goggles at the same time. You're done, dude. You're going night, sleepy time, bedtime, baby. That's what's gonna happen. Okay, we're getting close to the end. We only did 2 write-ins, but let's see what we got time for. Okay, someone. This is an easy one. What anime is that wet floor post? So this is actually a very famous anime scene. It's used in a lot of memes. Typically, like when she's squirted on the floor. Can you look up? Just look up like anime licking puddle scene. I should have put this in the doc, but it would just like bring this up real quick, and then I can show the public exactly which one we're talking about, and then I'll tell you what it is. I like to keep you guys suspensed. I like to keep you edging. I like to keep you on the brink of coming at all times. Whoa, holy, what was that there, dude? I'm gonna bring it. I want to see what you're looking at. Produce. Yeah, that's it right there. As you can see, he's crying. He's in like a puddle. He's licking it up. Frequently, this scene is used with, like, I ate her splooge or whatever. She squirted on the floor when she misses the toilet when she's peeing or something. And then it's like me licking it up. It's from Attack on Titan. I recently just saw this scene for the first time. And it's pretty wild when you've been so exposed to a meme of something. And then you see, you go, oh shit, that's from this? Holy shit. All right, that's cool. This has a completely different context in my brain. And it's wild to see what the actual context is. The real context of this, I'm going to spoil some attack. So, I mean, we're at the end of the episode. So if you haven't seen Attack on Titan, you plan on watching Attack on Titan, this is a big spoiler. It's a big, the whole show is such a mystery that you can spoil it over and over and over again. But this is a big season 3 spoiler, I'm pretty sure. But they basically they find out there's like a serum. Remember, this is a spoiler, guys. So if I've given you ample time to stop listening, but there's a serum that they use. Producer, am I spoiling it for you?
It's fine.
You can take your headphones off.
No, go ahead.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just letting you know you don't have to listen. I hate spoilers. There's a serum that they use to turn people into Titans. And this is like a specific moment where a certain character is about to be turned into a specific Titan. And the like villain of the show is the one who's turning people into Titans. And the person who's going to get turned into a Titan kind of fights back. To this point, they've kind of been on his side, and they go, no, and they knock it out of his hand, and it smashes on the ground. And then the villain is like, oh, no, like the serum, we've left it on the ground. No, it was supposed to be her who was supposed to turn to the Titan creature. And then he licks it up off the ground, sort of in distress. And then a crazy thing happens. I won't spoil anymore. But it's if you haven't seen Attack on Titan, it's a great show. I'm not done yet, but it's very, very good. Anyways, that's the pod, guys. I felt like we were cooking this episode, man. Last week, I was sick. Sorry if last week's episode didn't live up to par. I was not feeling well. I felt I got some green juice in me. I got some ginger juice in me. I started feeling much better afterwards. But I feel like I was fucking locked in on this one, man. Moodang. I felt those in Moodang spirits, man. Remember, if you want more Shade Arena content, you can go to shadearena.com or Shade Arena on any platforms. Tour dates. Let's do those one more time. Tour dates. Where are the fucking tour dates? Tour dates are going to be in Pittsburgh, October 3rd. Tampa, October 4th. Cincinnati, October 5th. Uncastville, Connecticut, October 10th to 12th. Lexington, Kentucky, May 6th and 8th. And remember, Toronto, Lexington tickets aren't available. Toronto's coming in December 13th and 14th. Those tickets aren't available yet. We have a bunch of stuff, some Oklahoma stuff coming that isn't up yet, but we're going to get those links and everything soon, guys. Yum, 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 yum. And if you want more episodes, if this episode you said, this was so good, I want more right away, you can go to Dark Holes with Shade Arena on Patreon, Dark Holes, or Patreon/Dark Holes with Shade Arena, and you can join the Patreon. There's a link in my bio as well, and you can support there. And there's every episode. This is episode 8, so that means there's 8. If you haven't joined yet, 8 unlistened to episodes of Dark Holes that are juicy, dude. I'm fucking always locked in. Always locked in the Patreon, because that's usually when I get peak fucking what's it called? The Celsius really starts to fucking cook in my brain. Anyways, that's the episode. Bye.